peace, prosperity, and welfare of this country, and of those whose interests thou hast committed to our child. Amen. Please sit down.
Record of votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, 11 December 2017.
Votes and proceedings of the National Assembly sitting of Monday, the 11th of December 2017, be adopted with amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. So the ayes have it. Thank you. Proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. One report on the Honorable Speaker's visit to the People's Republic of China for the period 18 to 23rd with intent to promote and strengthen bilateral relations between the government and the people of the Gambia and the People's Republic of China, as well as strengthening and promoting friendly relationships and ties between the two respective national legislative bodies. His Excellency Zhang Yiming, Ambassador Extraordinary of the People's Republic of China to the Gambia on Tuesday, the 20th of June 2017, paid a courtesy call on the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Madam Mariam Jack-Denson. After a series of follow-up meetings, His Excellency Ambassador Zhang Yiming extended an invitation from the Chairman of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, NPC, to the Honorable Speaker, Madam Jack-Denson, to visit the People's Republic of China. The invitation was received with delight, and thereupon the modalities were worked out in line with the foreign policy guidelines for Speaker Denton and a delegation of 6 is 1+6 to visit Beijing. The delegation comprising Honorable Mariam Jack-Denton, Speaker and Head of Delegation, Honorable Faduke Jawara, Member for Tanzania, Honorable Alhaji Bo, Member for Kosalu, Honorable Sekou Maron, Member for Latikunda, Honorable Sekou Bajaju, Member for Busumbala, Mr. Mohamed A. Sise, Deputy Clerk, Admin and Finance, Ms. Ashra S. Conte, Director Hansa, and PA to the Honorable Speaker, left Banjul on the 16th of September, arriving in Beijing on the 18th for a visit lasting 6 days. Summary of the visit. On the 18th September 2017, arrival and visits. Honorable Speaker and her delegation were on arrival received by His Excellency Jing Wenchung, Member of the Foreign Affairs Committee of the National People's Congress, NPC, and Mr. Liu Rui, Deputy Director General of the Foreign Affairs Bureau of NPC, visiting to the Beijing Friendship Hospital. The first port of call by the delegation was the Beijing Friendship Hospital, formerly called Beijing Soviet Red Cross Hospital, founded in June 1952. A comprehensive hospital with special features and advanced equipment, it integrates Chinese medicine with Western medicine. As a clinical medical institute affiliated to the Capital University of Medical Sciences, and also serving as a clinical teaching base for the training of high-level medical staff, it provides 7-year postgraduate education and a 5-year undergraduate education. Visit to the Great Hall of the People. The Great Hall of the People houses National People's Congress. In March of every year, it hosts 2 meetings, one by the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and the other by the National People's Congress. It is open to the public when the National Conference is not in session. Each province, special administrative region, and autonomous region of China has its own hall within the Great Hall. Beijing Hall, Hong Kong Hall, Taiwan Hall, with each hall decorated and furnished depicting the local style of the province it represents. Meeting with His Excellency Mr. Zhang Jijian, Chairman of the Standing Committee of the NPC. As the 9th Chairman of the Standing Committee of the NPC, Chairman Zhang Jijian's position is the equivalent of a Speaker in other parliaments. After the welcome remarks and introductions, Speaker Jack Denton was given the opportunity to open the discussions, which described as a rare opportunity, and thanked her host for the invitation and the warm welcome. The purpose of the visit, say on the line, is to learn, exchange, and share best practices, processes, and procedures.
She extended warm greetings from the peoples of the Gambia, and they echoed the long-standing relationship between the National Assembly of the Gambia and the National People's Congress of the People's Republic of China. A relationship that can be further strengthened through the establishment and rejuvenating of the Interparliamentary Friendship Group. For his part, His Excellency Chairman Zhang Dijeng thanked the Honorable Speaker for honoring his invitation, and through her thanked the government and people of the Gambia for their support to the One China principles, as well as respect to the PRC's core policy on the South China Sea. He recalled the struggles over the years of the Chinese people and said there is a lot that Gambia and the PRC share in common, and called for experience sharing on lawmaking and governance so that people-to-people and country-to-country exchanges can be promoted. He stated the National People's Congress readiness to work with the National Assembly of the Gambia through the re-establishment of the Interparliamentary Friendship Group to form the basis or platform for deepening cooperation, assistance and engagement between the two, which was crowned by the announcement of donation of office equipment worth over millions of dollars to the National Assembly through the Chinese Embassy in Banjul as specified below. Number 1, laptop computers, which is Lenovo Zangyong E42-80, 90 sets. Number 2, printer LaserJet 2655DN, 70 sets. Number 3, photocopier Lenovo XM2061, 70 sets. On the 9th of September 2017, visit to the Palace Museum. This museum, declared by UNESCO in 1987 as a World Heritage Site, has the largest collection of preserved ancient wooden structures in the world. Built by the 3rd emperor of the Ming Dynasty, the younger emperor, depicting their way of life, the place served as residence and court of 24 emperors. Because of its centrality and restricted access, the palace was called the Forbidden City and houses of 1 million rare and valuable works of art, making it one of the most prestigious museums in China and the world. Meeting with the members of the Law Committee, the Law Committee, the Internal and Judicial Affairs Committee, the Education, Science, Culture, and Public Health Committee, and the Research Office of the National People's Congress. This meeting began with an overview of China's constitution, chaired by Zhu Zhenlin, recalling that it had undergone 4 major amendments, 1982, 1988, 1999, and 2004, all aimed at enhancing and ensuring respect for human rights in all its facets. The meeting also dwelled briefly on the one structure of the National People's Congress, NPC. The NPC is the supreme organ of state power in China, with state power belonging to the people at both national and regional levels. It is composed of NPC deputies elected from 25 electoral units from the People's Congress of provinces, autonomous regions, and municipalities, with 24% female representation and different committee proportional representation. The percentage of women represented at local level is 30%. It meets in session once in a year with a standing committee. A permanent body of the NPC has both legislative and supervisory powers. The NPC directs the work of each of all these special committees. Speaker Jack Denton, for her part, noted the obvious similarities that is composition of the committees, the rights of women, women representation in parliament, etc. On the 20th of September 2017, departure for Hangzhou. The first port of call, the Zhejiang Milky Way Food Coal.
This People's Republic of China we are talking about is an example of a country which has emerged from nothingness to become a world power, both economically and militarily. Historically, China was referred to as the sleeping giant of the world before the revolution. Sleeping giant of the world because it was dominated by Japan, so it was necessary to wage a revolution to free the country from both internal forces and external forces. The country that is now called Taiwan was part and parcel of mainland China. And the first president of that Taiwan, Formosa, Chiang Kai-shek, was also part of the struggle in China, but he was a reactionary. No doubt when the revolution succeeded, he fled to Formosa, helped by America, and created Formosa as a buffer zone against communism. I'll be very brief, but it is important we put some of these matters clear for people to understand what is China and why the revolution. The revolution succeeded in 1949, but from 1949 up to 1970 or 72, China was closed to the world. They were using a policy that they called the bamboo curtain, that is closing the country to every external factor. They decided to rely on themselves primarily to develop their country. That's why they closed their world to all people from everywhere. So from 49 up to 90, nobody knew what was happening behind the curtain world. But they knew what was happening because they were developing their country. And during that period, that small island which is now called Taiwan, historically Formosa, was admitted into the United Nations, mainland China out. And that again was aided by the United States of America. But by 1970, the curtain, the bamboo curtain was forced open. The world by force accepted the power of China, and Formosa out of the United Nations. China was admitted as a member. And until from that time up to now, China remains the main member of the United Nations, and Formosa is no longer. That is why they have been using their checkbook diplomacy in countries like Gambia, Senegal, the so-called third world countries, to have support in order to get back into the United Nations. That's why the friendship between China, the foreign policy of this country with regard to China was like this, fluctuating. Under the First Republic, at one time they had a one China policy, another time they had a two China policy. That is, they had relations with both People's Republic and Formosa. But this is abhorrent to mainland China, because it's having two policies meant that you accept secession, because Formosa seceded from China, mainland China. So that policy was abhorrent to mainland China. Eventually, by 1994, when the coup d'etat came, the Gambia was having relations with mainland China. You remember, they were the ones who established that stadium in Bakau. And they were also the people who constructed the historic buildings in Quadrangle, mainland China. But when these others came, because of the checkbook diplomacy, they needed money. They were desperate in looking for funds. Mainland China was out, Formosa came in with funds. And then, of course, Libya also came in. So what I want to say is simply this, that China had never had aid from any country to develop. They had never relied on grants to develop. And China is 1/4 of the world's population. Once upon a time, the sleeping giant has emerged to be the world's number one economic power. What the United States owes China is in trillions, not in billions, in trillions. If they pay China today, they will collapse. You see, the paradox. communism is making capitalism to survive. Even though their communism is not really communism. It's not communism in the real sense of the term. It's a mixture. But in spite of all this, they are the ones who are making the capitalist world to survive. A few years ago, when the Eurozone had a big problem, they were collapsing. It was China who gave them a loan. Even for South Africa also gave them $2 billion loan, Eurozone. Brazil, 10 billion. Mexico, 10 billion. India, 10 billion. Russia, 10 billion. China, 40 billion. So you see, it is true that we have also emerged from ruins of colonialism. And it's also wrongly thought that this country has no resources. I say wrongly thought that we have no resources. But like China, we can make it. We have resources because agriculture is par excellence the backbone of our economy. The Chinese also realize. Today China is exporting rice all over the world. China is exporting industrial goods all over the world. The country that everybody looked down upon as a sleeping giant is now today the dominating factor in the world. So the efforts made by the Chinese to emerge from the ruins of Japanese occupation, we can learn from those efforts. And I'm glad that some members of this chambers, this parliament, went to China to see for themselves what is happening in that country. And I think it would be a very good thing if everybody here would be able to go to China to see what's happening there. Those who went there, they are witnesses. I've never been there, but I've been reading. I've been reading about China since I was like this. So I know, even though I've not been there, I know what is going on. And I know greater things are going to happen there. China is now free, both politically and economically. So we can learn from them. Madam Speaker, this is a little bit I want to say about China. Thank you very much.
To be given the floor, I'm also, I was part of the delegation who went to China. So I think as Honorable Member for West said, he read, but I also went there, I've seen what is in China and what Chinese are ready to do for their country and for the world and what they are doing. If I want to ask the Honorable Speaker, first of all, let me thank the Honorable Member for Willie for giving us a history. Willie West, for giving us the history of the Gambia, of China. But I want to ask a question, how best can he connect that history of China to the development of the Gambia so that we can be at the level of China? You see, when you tell us the history, you want to give us a connection where we can go to. I'm very, very happy with that. History is good because we didn't know the history. If you come and give us a history, give us a connection, a bridge where we can start from there to make sure that we see. Because everybody who went to China, who read about China, who enticed with the development of China, but where they come from, you know me. What enticed me? What enticed me with China? One, Honorable Speaker has made it at the conclusion. If I could read, it says conclusion. Because it says, some memories would ever remain. Alright? Would ever remain is the country's rapid infrastructural development. Time conscious. These are the things that I want to import from China to bring to Gambia. Time conscious. Bike sharing model. Cleanliness of the country. Pollution free. Commitment and attitude to work. And a great sense of nationalism. The great sense of nationalism. If you want to call ourselves Gambians, we need to love our country, the Gambia. Always have this at the back of ourselves, what can we do for our country? We went to China, Madam Speaker has said, to learn the best practices. We went there through the invitation of the People's National Congress. You connected the report came from Madam Speaker, but we had so many questions that we asked individual aside. One of the things that I asked that enticed me, my role as a National Assembly member, what would be my responsibility to help my country to develop to where China is? They said, very good laws. You as a National Assembly member, that is the responsibility. Legislate laws. Legislate laws that are locally accepted by your people. Locally accepted by your people, let them feel the sense of the belonging of the laws. They work towards it. That will be your fight. Madam Speaker, I want to appeal and then let it go, let it not stop here. I want to ask our relationship with China. There is a lot that we can gain from China, and there is a lot that China is ready to do for the Gambia. There are so many friendships that people make, countries make with other countries. He made mention about Czech relationship. There are countries that we have relationship, they only like Czech. But the best thing I like in China, they don't give you Czech, they give you what you want, the infrastructure. He made mention about the stadium. Even the relationship has gone off. It has gone before. The stadium, we call it as National Stadium. They are building a $50 million conference room. It will remain as Gambia. And other things. And others that they are ready to. What do? If they would have, they only wanted us to enrich us, they would have given us check to come with it. But they said, as far as you are a delegation from the National Assembly members, you are representing the whole National Assembly members, we are going to give you materials that are going to be valuable to your National Assembly members behind you. No check was given, but the materials are coming. So I want us to take it like this, and they want people-to-people relationship, country-to-country relationship, and any other form of relationship that Chinese are ready to do with Gambia. Madam Speaker, I don't want to talk about, but what I want Gambians to know, what I learned from the Gambia, from China, is their culture. Let us try to localize. Let us not leave what we own to go and get something that doesn't belong to us. And we will never be mastered in that. Culture is very, very important. Chinese, if you go to the National Assembly, their Congress hall, every region, if for example this is Busumbala, you will see a picture of that depicts the side of Busumbala. Every region, in their National Assembly, every region has a picture that depicts their culture. Let us maintain and still be with our cultures. We are trying to leave something out which, when we battle, we will never succeed. Because the international cultures that we are trying to adopt, we will never be mastered in them, we will lose our culture. When we say culture, it comes to what? The language. Somebody made mention of it here. You can never live in English language, fine. But our language, our national languages, we should be very careful with them. How many Gambians are here? If you are a Jola, you can write your Jola language. How many Gambians are here? If you are a Mandinga, you can write your Mandinga language. You see, it has to start from there. Let us try to teach our children in the houses, in the homes, schools, the national language. They will be able to read and write it. Then they can be able to explore their natural experience, the natural scientific fact they have in them. But if you want me to go to a school, you want me to become a scientist in a language that I have to struggle with it, the natural IQ that is given to me might not be utilized to the maximum. They said it here. China's caught themselves from the world. It is just a theory that they caught. No, what they did, they sent some of their people to go and study. The remaining stay in the country, use their culture to see how best, where they can start with the little that they have. And what's what they did? We cannot say we are going to cut ourselves from the world, but I want us to change our attitude. We go to your houses. What can I start? What can I implement now? What can I invent? Then the government helps. So just to conclude, National Assembly members, I want us to strengthen the relationship of Gambia and the Chinese government and the people of China that they are ready to help the Gambia. This is what we need. Gambia, what we need now is infrastructure, and China is ready to do that. And they are willing to capacitate. Honorable Speaker, Willie West is saying everybody wants to go to China. What I overheard from them, not factual, but what I overheard from them, if there is need be, and we are ready to support, everybody will go for at least a short-term capacity building in China, through the invitation of China, which we all want it to come. So please, Madam Speaker, the last point I wanted to ask, a debate has been done here that you said committees of Chinese committee relationship, but up till now we don't know who are part of those committees. People want to know how far are you with that. On that note, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me the floor. Once again, I say I'm honorable member for Willie West for that wonderful history of China. I have been to China and I've seen a lot. I also have learned a lot. As Madam Speaker said here, we went to China to learn equalities. Now, my first observation lies in China, and what amazed me most is how China started as development. It told us that it was started by Kiaman Mao and these people, and these are very, very, very young people, from the age of 19 to 30. These are the people who sacrificed for Kenya. These are the people who pushed Kenya to be where they are today. And then also, the National People Congress, that's the National Assembly, we call it the Assembly of China. These people, they are very, 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 very powerful. And I believe the National Assembly of the Gambia can follow their footsteps. To my surprise, Madam Speaker, when I entered in my hotel rooms, I put on my laptop. I wanted to access Google. I could not. I went downstairs and talked to some people about it. What they told me is that Google is not a Chinese product, so therefore we cannot have access to it. When I asked why, they said it is a National Assembly, that is the National People Congress, that is responsible to regulate those things. Even WhatsApp, there is some certain times that you don't have access to it. When you ask them, tell you it is not our fault. And these are laws put in place by their assembly. Can't we do that in the Gambia to protect our local business, to protect our Gambian people? In this way, we will definitely be where the Chinese people are. Madam Speaker, in China, I was really, 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 really amazed. But definitely, I should thank you, Madam Speaker, for providing us with that opportunity to visit China. Simply because in China, the culture of the Chinese people, they have a culture, and I believe in the Gambia here also, we have a very, 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 very rich culture.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I first want to thank you and your delegation that paid a visit to China and came up with this comprehensive report. There are two areas that I'm very much interested. Like everybody is saying China, China, China. China is doing a lot for Gambia, and they intend to do a lot for the Gambia. But let's look at the other side of the relationship. What are they also getting from the Gambia? I think this is something we need to critically look at. It's very important for us to look at two areas. Yes, we want to be like China. It's good to know the historical background of China and how they manage. But entirely, there is one thing we also need to guide. They are very important. One thing we can develop that has to start from ourselves. That is, we need complete policy of reformation that will impact on our attitude to accept the realities of the ground, because these are very important. There is an area where I definitely am very much interested. Before this relationship, we have the Chinese in our midst. And if you look at our environment, you can see a lot of issues going on. We all came from constituencies, and we know what is happening in India, especially with regards to deforestation. Most of our valuable wood have been taken away, and it's these Chinese that are involved in it. China cannot do everything for us 100% and expect to go free. So, like, we have our land, with 83% of Gambian land is durable for farming. Can we jealously also guide our interests by coming together and enter into the afforestation aspect of the farming? That within a period, these trees can be matured and we can get something important. Because these are things that we definitely need to look at. You go to certain communities, you cannot get certain woods there. And up till now, they are looking for it, searching for it. Yes, China wants to assist us, but we have to organize ourselves. How are we prepared? Regroup ourselves. So that anybody who is coming on can know that these people are organized. And we also want this in our relationship. It will not be exploitative. The other aspect, if you look at it, 19th September, the visit to the Palace Museum. The museum, by 1987, it was declared by the World Heritage Site, which, if you look at it, due to its centrality and restricted access, is called Forbidden City. It's very sad today if you go back to our society. The culture and tradition have been totally forgotten. And every diplomat that visited this country can be taken into some of our sacred places. And these are things that we also need to protect. This is part of Chinese development, and they have been jealously protecting them. That is why they have even tried to develop their own writing, their own way of writing. Non-outsiders cannot understand that. So these are things that we also need to do. We need a lot of sacrifice that we can do, honestly speaking. And this cannot go in the absence of culture, because we need to understand most of the culture and tradition are morally inclined. This also impacts on the attitude of the individual.
Attitudes, making good laws, and also always depending on loans and grants. When we look at, in the case of China, whatever China can do, I believe Gambia can do. When we give power, support, empower our youths, empower our institutions, and also empower the agricultural sector. When we say nationalism, we all love the country. How much can we sacrifice for our country? The attitude, how can we protect? Because we the Gambians, we know, if you look at the institutions, example like PTI, if China was a country who were not able to do anything for themselves, and now they make laws that help them to develop their country while in Gambia. Look at GTTI, our institutions. If we really support GTTI, whatever Chinese can do, we have students, we have intellectuals, we have people who cognitive thinking can take this country to anywhere that we, the government, wants. GTTI, we have students, it's an institution. And also, they can also make, equipments which are durable. We depend on foreign relationships. Yes, we can go without it, but we can also protect our national interests. China did not import professors. China did not import engineers. It's Chinese themselves who work and develop their country. When we also support our people, I think we can also do as China did.
Today we are talking about the nation of people who have high morals and high discipline, and they are very much committed to their work. I began to know China in 2010. That was the first time I went to China, and in 2013, and twice in 2015. So I know these people a bit. The Chinese people are very committed and they are very disciplined. As someone has said here, when you tell them 5 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock. And when you tell them 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. So I think the first thing we should learn from them is their discipline and commitment to their work. If we also want to be the way they are. Discipline in the sense that they respect their culture, they have high moral, and they are time conscious. I was chatting with a Chinese friend. He was explaining the history of China to me. So when I mentioned the Chairman Mao name for twice, he told me that we don't do that here. You have to say sender. I said, what is the meaning of sender? He told me that sender means like when we say here, Khalifa. So I said to myself, in every place in the world, there are cultural norms and values. So that was the first day I stopped to say Chairman Mao. So I also used to say sender. Honorable Speaker, speakers before me have said that China, they will develop when it comes in terms of infrastructure. That's the reality. If you go to China and you see China, and if you come to Gambia, you will see that when you left Senegal, you went to you left for Dakar and you went to Lower Body. Holistically, I sometimes say to myself that are we the people, are we the Gambians that are really ready to salvage this country from the economic bankruptcy? If we are ready to do so, I think we have, the thing should start from us as parliamentarians. How are we going to do this? We should be committed to our work, we should be time-bound conscious, and we should be ready to do it. And we should be committed to everything that is national interest. The relationship between Gambia and China, for me, I see it as a blessing for Gambia. Many people, as former speakers have said that people are talking about China, China. We don't talk about Senegal, Senegal, or Bissau, Bissau. Why are we talking about China? It's because there is interest in China, which we need. And one of the factors of international relations, the reasons why countries go into relationship is mutual interest. And if we have interest in China, I don't see no way why this parliament should not promote that. So I think this is an opportunity for us as Gambians and as parliamentarians to foster this relationship in order to gain what others are gaining from China. We cannot compare ourselves to China, but we can be there if we are committed to it and if we are ready to be there. Others have said that we have to respect our own industries, or we have to be localized things that we produce. That is the jargon of our former president, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. He's quite right. In this sense, we have to protect our infant industries when we are in a relationship with China, because they also have their own interests. I know them. If we want to deal with them, we have to be conscious twice, because they can think twice faster than us. I know that. And they are too intelligent than us. Let us not kid ourselves about that. I have my reasons why I'm saying this. Chinese are intelligent. And if you are dealing with them in any relationship, know that when they are giving you 2, they are taking 5. So we should also be conscious about that aspect, Madam Speaker. And if our relationship has grown to a certain level, they can come here to open businesses and other stuff. But one thing I would like this August Assembly to put into consideration is that whether China or not, any businessman that comes to Gambia here for business, let them have a Gambian partner. Let them have a Gambian partner. For the simple fact that if anybody is radio or television friendly, you listen to this commission that's going on, you will really know that foreigners has already exploited this country due to the fact that they don't have the right partners. So, Madam Speaker, without going further, I am in support of this idea that we go into relations with China. Honestly speaking, my humble opinion in this is that what we will gain from them, they will not get that from us. I really know that. So thank you very much for your time.
Actually, what transpired during their visit in China, and we are promised that the proper report will be presented before this August body. And with that, we must commend the team of the Honorable Speaker that visited China and well represented the Gambian National Assembly. And it was reported that the friendship would be established between the two authorities, and with the comprehensive report, we will not actually hesitate in endorsing that gesture that the Gambian National Assembly is going to learn a lot from the People's Republic of China, as well as the Gambia as a whole. From the contribution of the Honorable Member for Woolly West, we've learned the history of China that brought China to where it is. It is one thing to learn and another to adopt ourselves to what we have learned and be ready to change for good. China has been known as a communist and a socialist country. Gambia may not be communist or socialist friendly, but here we tend to admire what socialism has brought to China. The style of communism and socialism, from Karl Marx, Lenin, to Chairman Mao, kept on transforming until recently President Xi Jinping has what is called socialism with Chinese characteristics in the new era. As a government or as a nation, our citizens should know the clear-cut pattern of the system of governance and development of the country. That should be known to the fingertip of every citizen, from our schools right down to the executive where administration is done. I think this position for any nation is very important. I would not know definitely what is the clear-cut position of the government. There is mixed feelings as far as positions are concerned. Are we capitalists? Are we communists? Are we socialists? Are we Africans? That's what we should know, our position, and try to teach our children to follow that trend and pattern. At the time we get to the helm, the whole nation will know this is our sense of direction. But honestly, I will not know whether that is the position. China has a total different system. They said it's not a one-party state per se, but one party is dominating, and that party is more of the state than the Chinese Communist Party. The Chinese Communist Party has what is called the National School of the Chinese Communist Party. The headquarters is almost about 1,000 square kilometers, where all the leaders must pass through that school and be taught of the philosophy of the Communist Party, and that's the philosophy of China. Do we undergo that philosophical education as a government to teach our leaders? That's one thing we have to look at.
Honorable Speaker, and I want to thank my honorable colleagues for all their interventions with regards to our visit to China. And I've had a lot of positives, and I think that will go a long way in solidifying the relationship between the People's Republic of China and the Republic of the Gambia. Now, just to summarize, in thanking my colleagues also, especially the one from Willie West, the rundown he gave about the history of the People's Republic of China, which was really, really very good. And he had touched on the opening up of the Chinese people. And again, just to summarize that one, they closed themselves to the public or to the world, and basically to develop themselves internally. And when they came out, the entire world knew that the sleeping giant that they called at that time was awoken. And that's the reason why the People's Republic of China right now, they are the envy of the world, because economically, they are the driving force of the world economy right now. Now, one of our honorables also did mention about the formation of the committees, which the Honorable Speaker actually has cleared very well. That's up to the Committee of Selection. Did not sit for a while. But again, the Committee of Selection, once they sit, they will be guided by the Standing Order 75 through 82 inclusive on the formation of this particular offensive committee. Now, there's few things I would also like to point on. As somebody asked, how did China do it? Now, we must also remember that it took time, and it took a lot of sacrifices for the People's Republic of China to be what they are today. Like we say, Rome was not built in a day. Likewise, the People's Republic of China was not built also in a day. But the fundamental thing that was at the forefront was discipline that they have. Generally, they are really very disciplined. The commitment to the nation was also key, and self-reliance was also key to everything that they were doing. They developed their agriculture very, very, very well to feed themselves, and the extra, that is what they export to the outside world. Now, for rice, we've been told while we are there, not like they produce all the rice that they eat. No, they do also import rice. And I think that will be a great opportunity for the Gambia to develop our agriculture sector and see how best we can collaborate with them to export rice as well. Because they are also importing rice from other nations. Even though they have given us rice, but they also import. So that's also another area that we can also collaborate on with the People's Republic of China to export rice as well. Now, in the area of technology or ICT, luckily I was there a few years ago on a business trip on my own, where I spent actually a whole month and I learned a lot. And it was actually a life-changing for me and my company. They've opened up our eyes actually a lot. And again, the key things are these two things, which is the discipline I learned from them and the commitment with their businesses. And that's the reason why the areas I was staying actually, you have these small corner factories. You see a household have their own small factory. And if you check where we're sitting nowadays, right now, all of us here, with what we have, papers, pens, books, all the things we have in here, even the clothes that we put on right now, if it is not made in China, it may be assembled in China. Let's just check. Sometimes even the water that we drink in this country actually has to be imported. Just recent that we have factories that are coming in that are actually bottling this water that we drink. But can you imagine the kind of good water that we have in this country, but yet still we import water into this country. Now, what this tells us actually is that we still lack commitment in moving this nation forward. And I think these are some of the things that we can learn from the People's Republic of China. Now, they are really very patriotic. And again, like my honorable member for Lazikunda mentioned about the ICT issue that we had there. Every single thing that you see in social media, they have their own version. They have WeChat, they have Weibo, they have Reverend, to basically do exactly what Facebook, WhatsApp, or what Fiverr can do. They have exactly the same thing, and developed by their own people, and used by their own people. So, in general, you're going to see that the patriotism that they show in their country, and the commitment that they actually show, together with self-reliance, actually has led to the development of their country. And I think the Gambia can learn a lot from them. Now, in terms of what we're going to gain from them, I think it's a lot. I think recently you can see that the Gambia actually has supported the trade. We've signed the trade agreement between Gambia and China. And if you remember, they are saying that we can export to them and we're not going to pay any tax on our exports to them. And I think that's a welcome idea. They've also called our, they've also met with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where they clearly indicated that we will help you develop your infrastructure, we will help you on tourism, we will help you on your agricultural development. And I think the tourism sector actually has actually seen something, which is the development of this International Convention Center. They've already started. Now, China itself recently has agreed to a debt relief for African countries worth over $60 billion. Which other nation actually has done that in this world? Which other superpower that we call today actually has been very generous to the world, especially developing countries, where they wipe up a debt equivalent to $60 billion? Who? We are, and we will continue to gain a lot from the People's Republic of China. I'm sure we've spoken about the deforestation of our forest cover. Yes, indeed, we have some issues with regards to that. And I think it's also our responsibility to ensure that we don't destroy ourselves for the sake of somebody else. We must be patriotic. When we destroy our forest, what do we do? It is not only the Chinese people that are here. There are other nationalities that are also in this country. But it's also up to us to ensure and to protect our forest cover, no matter what it takes for us to do that. So we cannot put a blame on a particular country that they are exploiting our forests. But it's ourselves that are actually exploiting ourselves. Because we can stop it, and we can even stop it today if you want to. So let's not blame any other country but ourselves that are actually destroying our forest cover. The other honorable members for Lower Badibu, Sandu also expressed the same thing about the commitment they have actually seen on it with the Chinese people, which I actually concur with them. And one thing I also want to remind honorable colleagues about the experience we actually have shown in their parliament. All of them are older generation. You won't see any youth in their parliament. What happens is youth, they learn, they work, they get experience, and they also walk through the ranks before they reach to a particular position. And that's the reason why when they saw me and Honorable Maro and the others, they were like, these are just small, small kids in the parliament. So what happens is, when they have a parliament that is well experienced, they have a parliament that are really very educated, and they have a parliament that are really very patriotic, which means anything that they do as a whole is for the benefit of their nation. And I think we can learn a lot on that one as well, as the Honorable Subayu North actually has alluded to. Now, with our businesses here, I think, well, as a businessman, there are certain things that we tend to forget. When we start a business, there are certain things that we don't take into consideration. which is the key risk indicators. Consistently, businesses fail, especially smaller businesses, because there are certain things that they don't do. They just jump and then no planning, and they will expect to make dividends. That doesn't work anywhere in this world. With the Chinese people, they plan, and they plan properly. And right now, as we speak, they already have an idea how Shanghai will look like by 2040. They already know how it's going to look like. They already know how they want the city to look like. So can you imagine somebody planning 20 years or 25 years ahead of where I want to go, or what do I need to do to get there? That's exactly what they do. So what we can learn from that area also is the same thing here. We need to plan, and we need to plan properly. We know what we have. And again, the difference between the rich nations and the difference between the poor nations, it's not about size. It's not about the natural resources that you actually have. It's not about the intellectuals that you have in your country. But the fundamental thing is the commitment that you have, the patriotism that you show in your country, and that's what we need, and we can learn a lot from this relationship with China. Honorable Speaker, to summarize, and with all this we have in here, I also want to remind our honorable colleagues that our government do support the One China policy and their policy.